Today we're going to be looking at some rude celebrities who were called out in TikTok. I do want to say all of these stories are alleged, so take it with a grain of salt. We don't know if it's the truth or we don't know if they're lying. So if you do see somebody you recognize in this video, keep in mind the story could be fake.
Alright, so I used to work at a very upscale steakhouse in New Jersey, and we had the best view of New York. I saw everything between football players, stars, rappers, singers, actors, whatever you think of, I seen it. And I'm gonna just say right now, it's the Italian men that come in with the pinky ring and the big chain that's gonna give you the good tip. These celebrities are entitled as anybody that's worked in service knows that it's probably the worst thing in the world when someone shows up in the last 10 minutes. And that's all they ever did. So this one time, someone calls me and they're like, "Hi, can I have a table for 7?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure, no problem, but I just need to let you know that we close in 10 minutes. Shorty was like, "Okay, what does that mean?" "That means you got 10 minutes to get here, girl." She proceeds to go, "But it's somebody really important." And I just kind of sat there in silence, like, I don't really care. Whatever, the manager let them in because you already know how that goes if you know how that goes. So manager let them in, no problem.
I feel like there should definitely be a rule where it's like whenever the shop closes, table service is only open until an hour beforehand. So it's like if you want to go into the restaurant could close at 7, but maybe the last table you could book was at like 6 p.m. And that like if you do want to get food, you might have to go for like a takeaway, I don't know.
And so I sat them in the mother lounge by the bar instead of the dining room because they didn't deserve that. Granted, not all like famous people are rude, but majority of the athletes very entitled. This one other athlete and his whole entire family would come every holiday and tip us like $2. $2? $2? Like, is you not like making money with the New York Giants? This one rapper literally ripped my friend because she left his phone charging and she was closing. She was there at like 12 o'clock. The restaurant closes at like 10:30. She was ready to go. He flipped a like, "Someone could have stole my phone. Da-da-da-da." Bro, you're the last one in here. Your phone's locked in the drawer. Like, why are you bugging right now? Maybe if you came here on time with your phone charged, that would have never been a problem. Stars, they tip nice because they hard workers. Business owners, they tip nice because they're hard workers. Now, don't get me wrong. Rappers, athletes, whatever, celebrities, they're hard workers too, but they forget. They forget what it is to actually work hard, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Working there has definitely numbed me to the idea of fangirling or caring about any celebrity. Nicest celebrity I ever met was Janae Aiko. She was so sweet, such a sweetheart. Oh my God, I'll never forget that experience. But any football player, basketball player, I don't like y'all. I don't care about y'all. And that's why I let y'all eat with the roaches. What's up?
Yeah, so a lot of times people like rappers and, you know, celebrities, they have lots of money, but like they don't really like to give it away. It's quite funny though, because it's like I feel like a lot of times whenever it comes to rappers, they flaunt money, but don't really have money. It's all for show. As she was talking about, you know, athletes and the rappers, they were like worth loads of money, but wouldn't tip. It's probably because they don't actually have that money. I mean, you can have all the gold and diamond chains all you want, but we all know your bank account's empty. I served Odell Beckham at the IHOP maybe 6 years ago, and he left me a $7 tip and a $100 check. I purposely acted like I didn't know who he was. Okay, so that's an American person. In America, tips are very, very big. We wouldn't really do it in Northern Ireland. A $7 tip on something that was $100 isn't that good, is it? I swear you're meant to like tip 20%, so he should have tipped at least $20. But yet again, some of these people act like they're minted and then they just don't want to tip you.
Tell me about a time when a celebrity was rude to you.
Okay, this is me, and I used to work on a lot of Disney Channel shows, and one time I was working on the show, and it was one of the first few times I was working on it, and I was sitting in the booth of a fake diner, and I was facing this way, and one of the actors, this person, came up to a group of people next to me. And so he was talking to them and introducing himself and whatever, asking everyone's name. And I was facing the other way, so I never turned around because I don't want to be like, "Oh my God, you're a celebrity" type person. And I get a tap on my shoulder and I turn around and he's like, "And you are?" And I said, "Oh, my name's Gary, nice to meet you." And he said, "You're welcome," and turned around and walked away. And that was I was like, "Wait, what?" And it was Jason Earls from Hannah Montana, and it was on Kickin' It.
I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know who that is, but he does kind of look like the type of guy to act like that. I mean, look at him, he does seem pretty entitled. I'm gonna look him up in a minute, but I wonder how famous he is. From my understanding, a lot of the times Z-listers are the most entitled people. Sometimes real famous people can be entitled, but I feel like a lot of times Z-listers think they're a lot more famous than what they are. Okay, so I looked him up and he kind of does look like Miley Cyrus in that photo. But do you wanna know what's even more shocking to me? Apparently he's been dating girls, Katie and Jennifer. And he's got a child. I thought that man was gay. I want more context, I need to know his body language and voice tone. Because that sounds like his humor and he was probably just joking. I mean, for all we know, maybe he was just joking, or maybe he was like joking but in a mean way. Sometimes people will use comedy to hide their bitterness, so like he might actually be shading you. He ain't even a big celeb, who does he think he is? I mean, apparently he thought he was pretty big. But yet again, I've noticed it's always the people who haven't really made it are the most entitled.
So mine is Niall Horan, and I know what you're thinking. Nancy, you've met Niall Horan? I have. So this is an HMV signing in Oxford Street in London. If any of you remember HMV, sometimes artists will set up little stations and they'll do signings in there. So I happened to be there for the release of Niall's first solo album, and I'm waiting in line to get a little signature, you know, as a little memorabilia. I've been stood there for maybe 3 hours, and I finally get up to the desk and I can see it's my turn to go, and I lock eyes with Niall Horan, and I'm walking up and he says, "So, what's your name?" And then I tell him my name is Nancy because my name is Nancy. He's writing it down on the little pad, and I'm getting super nervous at this point because it's a celebrity and I don't know how to handle my emotions. And he says, "Have you had a good time today?" And I say, "I've had a great time, you know, but I've been standing for 3 hours and my feet hurt." And then he looks me dead in the eye and gives me this awful stare. And he says, "Are you complaining about the fact that you've been standing for 2 hours?" And I say, No, I'm not complaining, it's not your fault." And he looks at me again, but doesn't say anything. And he's just giving me this death stare with those eyes. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm in trouble. Next thing I know, he grabs me by the throat, slams my head on the table, grabs an additional album from the counter, and starts repeatedly slamming it on my head 27 times. I'm then bleeding out, they have to call the ambulance. It's a right old scene, it's very embarrassing for me. I'm being loaded onto the ambulance. You'll never guess who the driver is, George Ezra. And I say to him, "Bloody hell, you're George Ezra." So I get to A&E and the nurses are looking at me funny because they cannot believe what's just happened, and neither can I. And I'm lucky to be alive because those nurses said to me, if he had hit me on the head any faster with that album cover, I would have been a goner. Thank God he got slow hands.
Oh, okay, I think that might have been a joke. I was actually thinking about serious. I'm actually literally getting beaten up by Niall Horan. Yet again, I had to put my glasses on because she's talking about how she's got sore feet. I've got sore eyes. Why do you kind of look like a young Harry Styles? Oh my God, she actually kind of does. When you said I know what you're thinking, I wasn't thinking you met Niall Horan. I was thinking Niall Horan was rude, couldn't happen. I mean, to be fair, apparently the Irish and Northern Irish are very, very nice. I swear there was a poll done a while ago and they were up at the top for the most nicest and most welcoming people. The one person you do not want to piss off is an Irish mum. Nah, I'm sorry if you ever piss off an Irish mum, run.
This is about a time a beloved celebrity disappointed me. I never thought I'd be talking about this story time, especially on the internet. And when I mean the public loves them, the public loves them.
I wonder
this was
who.
back when I first started going to events and premieres, so I was a noob. So I got invited to this premiere. After the premiere, there was an after party. And there I saw them. The one small crumb of a hint that I will give you is that this person is our childhood. I was trying to muster up the courage to talk to this person, right, the entire night while seeing them at the after party. My timbers were shivered, and I told my sister, do not let me leave this event without saying hi to this person. My sister gives me a little pep talk, a little massage on the shoulders, right? The confidence has possessed me. I walk over to them. I'm telling them how much I love them and how much of an inspiration they are to me, because truly they still kind of are, but I don't know, it's tainted. I was like,
Who is
hey,
it?
So I know I'm already bothering you and your bodyguard's looking at me really weird, but do you want to do a TikTok with me? It's only 2 seconds, I promise, super fast, right? It's like a picture. It's embarrassing when I think about it. But they look at me, right? They look at me dead in the eyes, and they're just like,
ew.
no. Before I met them, my friend also said that they were mean. And I didn't believe her. Keep in mind, they were sitting next to a very controversial person, and I was like, Now, it wasn't the fact that they said no. It was the tone and the judgment behind it. Keep in mind, they were also taking pictures and videos with other fans throughout the night. And they kept doing it after me. They're also notorious for fan service, basically. But I was the exception. Special. And also, when I was talking to them, telling them how much I love them, They were just like, basically super condescending. And their posse around them were just like, girl, leave. Girl, I will never talk to a celebrity ever anymore. Anyways, I'm just gonna chalk it up to they probably had a bad day.
I don't think it's that they were having a bad day. I've got a feeling they're a bit of a twat. Yet again, you know how they're talking about the tone? That's what it is with a lot of these people. A lot of people just have really horrible, like, condescending, entitled tones. It's like you could say, do you want to know something? I'm not doing photos right now. I really appreciate talking to you. Thank you so much for supporting me. It's the fact that apparently they were, like, looking you up and down. And they were also apparently a part of everyone's childhood. Like, I want to know who it was. I just know it was Demi Lovato. A friend of mine had a similar situation with Demi. Really? I mean, to be fair, Demi has had, like, 6 or 7 strokes. So I don't know if they were completely there. It's obviously Jamie Lee Curtis, lol. Really? I swear she seems so nice. That's why you don't trust nice people. If someone seems too nice, it's because they're fake. Everyone's search bar says Jamie Lee Curtis, but mine says Selena Gomez. I mean, to be fair, mine says Jamie Lee Curtis as well. But like, I want to know who is it. Maybe it isn't even them. It could be like someone I don't know.
I worked for almost 20 years at a prominent Southern California entertainment company and encountered many celebrities. And I'm going to list the rudest to nicest. One of the top rudest celebrities I've ever encountered was Mira Sorvino.
I don't know who that is, so I'm gonna look her up. Okay, I think this is her. She is an American actress. Yet again, whenever it comes to some of these celebrities, I'm so bad. Like, you're gonna notice that in this video. I'm literally gonna know nobody.
She would check into hotels and yell and scream if she didn't get exactly what she thought she booked, and she often pulled the "do you know who my dad is" card, like we cared. Next on the list for top rudest celebrities is Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio, another guy I don't know. Okay, I've looked him up again and apparently he's an American actor. What's up with these American actresses? Like, apparently they're all rude and entitled.
I was in front of him trying to exit a venue after a premiere, and he told me to get the hell out of his way when we had nowhere to go because the crowd was moving slowly. Total prick. I don't think the next rudest celebrity will come to any surprise. He was young and stupid at the time. Justin Bieber would show up just before closing, not talk to anybody. Even if they talked to him, he wouldn't look anyone in the eye. Just a total prick. Hopefully it was just a phase and he's better now.
I'm gonna be completely honest, I've heard a lot of bad stuff about Justin Bieber, but deep down I do feel very, very bad for him. He was shoved into the spotlight at the age of 13, became like the biggest, most famous musician in the world. And like, you know, dealing with that's hard. But yeah, I have heard a lot of negative stuff like that about him.
First on the list of celebrities under the nice category, Mr. Steve Jobs. I got to stand around and talk with him for about 10 minutes while he was waiting for someone one day. Just one of the nicest guys. Rest in peace, Steve. One of my employees came over to me in my office and told me that someone needed to talk to me, a celebrity guest. I went out front and thinking it was going to be a concern or a complaint, and this person was leaving where we were and just wanted to shake the manager's hand and say thank you for a wonderful time. Guy Fieri, stand-up dude, really cool. I assisted this next nicest celebrity with a small concern she had, and she couldn't have been nicer, Miss Michelle Kwan, and not a flex, maybe a little bit of a flex, but she told me to my face that I'm cute. So that was cool.
Oh, look at you.
And finally, my favorite, nicest celebrity interaction. The entire family cast of Dog the Bounty Hunter. I went up to their hotel room to get them some things that they needed, and we stood around and just chatted forever. They had questions about where I worked. They had questions about me and my life. Just the nicest people. Took pictures. It was so great. Anyway, that's my list of rudest and nicest celebrities. Maybe I'll have another one someday.
Well, at least we found out some nice celebrities. But yet again, the rude one's like, ugh, it's kind of stinky, isn't it? Like, it kind of like stays in the back of your throat.
Rude celebrity encounters. Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres came into the restaurant that I worked at. She complained about her table's waitress having a broken nail. That waitress was later fired because of Ellen's complaint. I looked that one up and it was actually true.
Yet again, I've heard that before. Apparently the people who seem nice really aren't nice. You know, James Corden, Ellen DeGeneres, you know, they seem so nice in television. But like behind the scenes are just horrible. That just doesn't surprise me because 99.9% of the time someone's too nice, it's because they're not nice or faking it. Ellen complained about what? The waitress had a broken nail. So Ellen complained to the manager about her nail and the girl got fired. With that type of situation, I can't tell if it's real or if it's fake. Yet again, take every single story in this video with a grain of salt. I don't know if it's real or if it's fake or if it's like true or made up. However, I have heard a lot of nasty stuff about Ellie, and yet again, it's a talk show host. It's like the ones that seem really nice aren't that nice.
Russell, can you please sign my jersey? Please, Russell. Please, you're my favorite player. Please, Russ.
Now, I totally get that celebrities probably get asked for their autographs all the time. But really, to just ignore a child. It would have taken literally seconds to make this child's day. I think there's many who forget that without the fans, they wouldn't be where they are today.
I mean, what he said's completely true, but I am going to defend this guy in this video. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know who it is, I don't know anything about him. But what I do know is that whenever it comes to celebrity, sometimes adults will use young children to basically pretend to be fans, so it means that they can sign stuff and then sell it online for money. It's a very common thing I've heard about. I swear the royals don't sign stuff, a lot of celebrities don't sign stuff. They'll do photos, and to be fair, he did kind of ignore the girl, maybe, you know, oh, take a photo. It's kind of one of them situations where, like, he's not in the wrong, but, like, he should have went around it a different way. The kid's parents were using him to sell the jersey online. Yeah, exactly, that's what I was saying. Sometimes whenever they get people to sign stuff, it's because they use that signature and then, like, sell it. Imagine you get Rihanna signing a shirt. Someone could literally pop that on eBay and people will buy it and they'll make a profit. That poor child will feel so insignificant, it's awful. And very shameful behaviour from an adult in any situation. They are no better. I mean, yeah, maybe he should have got a photo, but yet again, I can understand not signing. But then on the flip side, was the child a natural fan? Or was there an adult basically egging them on? Well, anyways, guys, that's some rude celebrities who got called out on TikTok. Yet again, take all these stories with a grain of salt. They could be true, they could be fake. I guess we don't know. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you're press bigger, subscribe, and then see you all tomorrow for another video.